Right, let's just wait in here and, this is pretty safe. I don't think anything horrendous is about to happen. Oh dear. Hello dear sirs and madams, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be talking about not only a singular video game, but a series of 3. Today, dear viewers, we consider the Metal Slug 1, 2 and 3.
What's that like then? Slugging metal or something somewhere?
Well, not really. It's like a shooty game. Indeed, Metal Slug is a series of video games initially from Nazca Corporation before it merged with SNK. The series was released for the Blessed Arcades along with SNK's Neo Geo home console. Over the years it has been ported to many different platforms. Today we'll be looking at them on PC or personal computer. I'm told it stands for that. I thought it stood for plentiful chimeras, but perhaps their definition may make some more sense. Metal Slug was released in 1996, 2 in 98, and 3 in the year 2000. These were the 3 games which SNK created, sadly before their bankruptcy. The 3 Metal Slug games I am talking about today are run and gun shoot-em-ups. That is, you run through the level and gun down all the baddies there present. The game's main protagonists of this series of 3 are the Peregrine Falcon Squad, or the PF, consisting of soldiers Marco, Tama, Eri and Theo. A player can select one of the 4 at the starting screen, and then whenever they die they can either take the same or pick another one altogether. As all 3 of the games are very similar in aesthetic and gameplay, I will be taking a look at them as a whole for the most part. Dear viewers, I hope you do not hold this against me. Each of the Metal Slug games has a familiar start menu, so let's have a look at 2. In Metal Slug 2, it has a wonderful start menu. Within that menu is the select mode option, where you can select a mode. The settings option, where you can look at many of the settings therein. The leaderboards, where you can look at leaderboards. And of course, once you get bored and want to do something else, you can quit. The key game loop in these 3 games revolves around controlling your character, avoiding enemy fire while trying to shoot down all those baddies in the process. In the first game, players can only play Marco and Tama, but in Metal Slug 2 and 3, all 4 of the team are available. The main antagonist of this here series of 3 is General Morden, who intends to bring about a new global regime of baddiness. This means fighting his army of soldiers and weaponry, but of course as you progress through the games, other baddies such as zombies, mummies, Sasquatches, weird mutant things, and even some more extraterrestrial type bad guys. As the player runs and guns through each level, they are equipped with a pistol and grenades to lobbist at thy foe. The handgun has unlimited ammo, which the hero will always spawn with from the depths of a deep continue, along with 10 grenades. Power-ups can be obtained through rescuing POWs, as well as spawning randomly in the world. Each power-up is a letter that lets the player know what type of weapon it is. For example, should our intrepid heroes come across an H, then it will be a heavy machine gun. An L would be a laser, R for rocket launcher, etc. Each of these weapons will have a finite amount of ammo, but are very powerful. Sadly, dear viewers, should the player lose a life falling victim to a stray bullet or missile while holding a weapon, then it will be lost once they respawn. The pixel art on show is very good indeed, and holds up even several decades after the first game's release. Good pixel art with sprites seems to stay true and still look wonderful, no matter how long they've been around. I think this is testament to just how good the artistry is and how good 2D graphics were at the time, where some 3D games at the time look not so good now, though let it be said that there are some of us that still enjoy some good old chunky polygons. Through all 3 games, along with the various power-ups available, there are also certain points in which the players can embark into a slug, essentially a vehicle of some type. This can be a mech type, suits, submarines, tanks, and even spaceships. They usually come with powerful weaponry of their own, which can easily lay waste to scores of evilry that you will encounter through the levels. Notably, whereas in your normal running and gunning from one hit will kill you, these slugs are capable of taking several hits before the player might need to quickly eject before it explodes. The levels themselves are many and varied. We go from fighting through jungles to frozen landscapes to sand and sun, pyramids and military test sites, just to name a few, with each level showing off that great art design by the team behind the game. Is the game any good though? I would indeed say yes. Blasting away all those wonderfully drawn sprites with machine guns and lobbing grenades is most entertaining. Whenever you pick up a power-up, the announcer will shout out its name like Enemy Chaser or Rocket Launcher, which are sounds that bring me back to the arcades of my youth. Being a game that was designed with the arcades in mind, you will die. A lot. As the player will die in one hit, it is very easy to lose a lot of lives very quickly, dear viewers. Often the screen will be covered in projectiles of various different sizes and speeds that make it very difficult indeed to avoid. Some levels you will burn through continues like there is no tomorrow. In the arcade, should you wish to complete all the levels of any of the games, you would have to bring a large bag of coins with you and do your best not to die too horribly, too often. Luckily, the home versions, of which I'm playing through GOG and Steam, though still difficult and rippy, allows you infinite continues, which helps to alleviate some of the stress while playing. I imagine should we have been given a limited amount of continues, your good dwarf here would have been hard-pressed to see the last level of any of the 3 games here present. One important thing to note is that Metal Slug 2 specifically suffers from crippling slowdown. That is, with more sprites and projectiles and explosions on the screen, the more the frame rate suffers, sometimes feeling like only a few frames per second. S&K were aware of this and released Metal Slug 2 as Metal Slug X, with nearly all the slowdown and bugs fixed. I'd therefore recommend that version over Metal Slug 2. So, would I recommend this? Yes, I would. The 3 games and others in the series can usually be picked up on GOG, Steam or any similar site for a low price. You can get through each in under an hour, though personally I couldn't play them back to back. Rather, several sessions focusing on just one game seem to hit the right spot. Of course, dear viewers, or those of you still wishing to hear my ramblings, the game is fun in single player, but a lot more fun if you play through the campaigns with a friend. There you can come together in chorus at the cheap deaths and annoying enemies, together keeping that loneliness abated for a little while at least. And there we have it, dear viewers, another game out of the window and on to the next. So as I once again close the doors to this dwarven hold, let me quickly mention my book again. And I bid you good day.
It's aliens! It's aliens!